For today's headlines, go on honor to die serving. Lopez supports modified enhanced community quarantine reversion. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas admits recovery fragile. Mayor Isko, Vice Mayor Ghani, both stable, doing well.
Go.
Delivery riders jabbed at Caloocan drive-thru sites. Who are the Taliban and where is Ashraf Ghani? Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Q. Today is August 18, 2021 and these are the latest news this Wednesday morning. Senator Christopher Bongo said on Tuesday that a close brush with death over the weekend strengthened further his faith in God as well as his strong resolve as a public servant. Go revealed that the helicopter he and his staff were riding going to the inauguration in Basilan of the 135th Malasakit Center in the country had a scary, bumpy landing. The senator said the chopper developed engine problems and plummeted fast from 400 feet while landing from a sea approach coming from Zamboanga. Go said he noticed that they were going down fast and when they landed, its nose was pointing down and they bounced twice. He thought it was his end and it's his first time experiencing something like that. Go said he asked the pilot what was wrong as he noticed the weird engine sound of the aircraft, and in response the pilot said a strong tailwind hit them. He said he did not fully grasp the danger they faced until he saw a closed-circuit television camera footage of their jarring landing. He added he took the incident as a sign that he still has much work to do for the country amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Go said that as a public servant, it's an honor to die serving our people. He believes only God knows what will happen to our lives, and maybe he still has to help more so he will not stop serving. Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez said on Tuesday he is supporting business groups in their objection to the extension of the enhanced community quarantine or hard lockdown expiring in Metro Manila on Friday, August 20. Lopez proposed granular lockdowns instead of an ECQ extension and the de-escalation of the restrictions to the modified enhanced community quarantine to avoid further economic damages and job losses. He said during the Laging Handa press briefing that they will observe cases that we have each day. He also believes that we can also de-escalate to MECQ and impose strict granular lockdown instead. But these are just proposals and the IATF's decision will prevail at the end of the day. Lopez added that for their part, they just wanted to bring back lost jobs for the 2 weeks of ECQ to avoid further hunger and other diseases that are prevailing right now compared to COVID-19. They will ensure balance regarding the economy and health security aspects in the upcoming IATF meeting. He said he understands the sentiment of business groups as thousands of workers and enterprises have once again suffered during the 2-week implementation of the ECQ. Meanwhile, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry urged the government to formulate more acceptable and effective ways of bringing down COVID-19 cases instead of extending the ECQ. Meanwhile, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas assured the public Tuesday that it will continue to prop the economy by, among other measures, keeping key interest rates as low as possible for as long as needed. In an interview with Daily Tribune Straight Talk, BSP Governor Benjamin Diokno cited the country's monetary stance and why it has remained since the start of 2021. Diokno said this year they have kept the policy unchanged, and that's because the economy, while it has recovered, the recovery is still very fragile. He promised that they will continue to support the economy until there's a strong basis for seeing that it has become stable. The BSP chief stressed the economy is fundamentally stable, but because of the pandemic, economic prospects have dimmed somewhat. Still, Diokno said the key to a strong rebound will be the faster vaccine rollout and the country achieving herd immunity to loosen restrictions that will open up the economy. Tribune News on Q will be back after these short reminders.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
bayan kong Pilipinas, hirap ang dinadanas. Sari-sari ang problema dahil sa pandemya. Matapang ang Pilipino, matapang tayo, kakayanin natin to, kaya natin to. Like Andres Bonifacio, he is our hero. Hindi atakbo, hindi atakbo. Nandyan na ang bakuna. Magpapaturok ka ba? Supilin na ang pandemya. Magpapaturok ka ba? Huwag mawalan ng pag-asa. May pag-asa. Malapit na ang ginhawa. May ginhawa. Mawawala ang pandemya. Mawawala na rin yan. It's gonna be okay na. Okay na, okay na, okay na. Nandyan na ang bakuna. Magpapaturok ka ba? Supilin na ang pandemya. Magpapaturok ka ba? Nandyan na ang bakuna. Magpapaturok ka ba? Supilin na ang pandemya. Magpapaturok ka
This
ba?
public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
With Globe, our steps can lead us to millions of doors opening, millions of paths unfolding, and millions of reasons to keep going. Now's the time to be with the network that gets better every day for you.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. In other news, Manila Mayor Isko Moreno Domagoso and Vice Mayor Ghani Lacuna are both in stable condition and are doing well despite being infected with COVID-19, according to the recent health bulletin issued by Dr. Grace Padilla, director of the city-run Santa Ana Hospital, where they are both confined. Lacuna, who is on her 11th day of hospitalization, is improving and has a good appetite. She is set to be discharged as she continues to exhibit remarkable recovery, Padilla's report said. On the other hand, Domagoso is on his second day at the hospital. A battery of tests he was given all returned normal. Both Domagoso and Lacuna have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19. It was learned that Mayor directed City Administrator Felix Espiritu to follow up on departments and heads of offices to ensure the uninterrupted delivery of basic services in the city and to receive donations that may arrive on his behalf while he is confined at the hospital. Espiritu said the distribution of cash aid from the national government and all forms of assistance from the city government continues without delay as per the mayor's order. The Caloocan City government yesterday formally opened 2 drive-thru vaccination sites to serve as a convenient way of offering the vaccine to drivers.
Go.
A total of 1,000 pre-listed Grab delivery drivers from Caloocan City or whose workplace is located in the city were vaccinated with the AstraZeneca vaccine at SM Tangandaan in the south and Caloocan Sports Complex in the north. In total, about 2,500 pre-listed Grab delivery riders were scheduled to be vaccinated in the first days of drive-thru vaccination. Caloocan City Mayor Oka Malapitan said the purpose of the drive-thru sites is to bring the vaccines closer to the people. which is the most effective response to the ongoing fight against the pandemic. Malapitan said they first vaccinated our delivery riders at the launch of this initiative, which they know is more important now that we are under ECQ. We want them to be protected as well so that even their families and clients are protected. The Caloocan mayor is thankful to Grab for partnering with the city government for the pre-listing of its delivery riders for vaccination, as well as the city health department, public safety and traffic management department, and other offices that pave the way for the implementation of the city's drive-thru vaccination. We will be back. Stay with us.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
Oh, vaccination, isolation. Gotta keep up with my nutrition. Gotta maintain my body condition. Then I can take my vaccination. What do I choose? What do I take? As long as it is not a fake. AstraZeneca, Moderna, BioNTech, even Sinovac, okay na. Babakuna ka ba? 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 Vaccination for the nation, no more isolation. With vaccination, babakuna ka ba? 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 Paturok, paturok.
This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. And for our field report, here's Vernon Velasco. Vernon? Yes, we can hear you. Yes, go on, Vernon. For now, let us, yes, Vernon, are you here? All right, for now, let us move on to the next news. Who are the Taliban? Let us know more about the organization that has taken over Afghanistan in this explainer report by the Daily Tribune. Coming at the heels of the Soviet-Afghan War, it is believed that the Taliban emerged in 1990 from northern Pakistan's religious schools that preached stricter Islam. Their promise? Restore peace and security in Pakistan and Afghanistan, torn by Muslim guerrilla infighting. This they would do through the enforcement of stricter interpretation of Islamic law. The ripples of Taliban influence are quick and relentless, from southwestern Afghanistan to when it took control of 90% of the country in 1998. Wary sentiments led to the positive reception of the Taliban in Afghanistan, reinforced by the group's reputation of eradicating corruption and lawlessness, making the country conducive for trade. However, the promise has a downside, as the Taliban were inclement in their public executions of criminals and even prohibitive of Afghans' way of life, banning entertainment and choosing who goes to school. Human rights and cultural violations were attributed to the Taliban too. Taliban is most prominent for the murder of schoolgirl Malala Yousafzai in Pakistan and coddling prime 9/11 World Trade Center al-Qaeda suspects led by the late Osama bin Laden. In retribution, a US-led military offensive swept across Afghanistan and displaced the regime. Taliban, however, later regained strength and sowed violence in the lands they reclaimed. In February last year, the US-Taliban peace deal promised that the US would leave Afghanistan by 11th of September, exactly 2 decades since 9/11. The US feared the country would suffer from an aggravated Taliban-led civil war, taking advantage of the withdrawing superpower. Many major Afghan cities have fallen in 2 weeks as US-trained Afghan soldiers abandoned their positions without firing a single shot. Most recently, Kabul was taken over after President Ashraf Ghani left the Afghan capital an open city. Speaking from the presidential palace, the Taliban lead negotiator said the takeover of Kabul is an opportunity for the Taliban how they can serve the nation. He assured that under the Taliban, Afghans are assured of peace and a better future. But contrary to it, fear in Afghanistan apparent when Afghans stormed Kabul airport to escape the country desperately. And now, amid the chaos, where is the leader of the country? Afghan President Ashraf Ghani abandoned his presidential palace in Kabul and fled the country on Sunday as Taliban militia closed in on the capital. Ghani later took to social media and posted on his Facebook justifying his hasty retreat to avoid further violence. The Taliban have won and are now responsible for the honor, property, and self-preservation of their countrymen, he wrote on Facebook. He added countless patriots would be martyred and the city of Kabul would be destroyed if he will not leave the country. He did not say where he would go. However, on Monday it was reported he fled to Oman after his plane was denied entry by the Tajikistan government, and it is believed Ghani will fly to the US to seek asylum or probably regain some political foothold. In Washington, Afghan journalist Nazira Karimi could not hold back her tears as she asked Pentagon officials during a press conference about the whereabouts of Ghani. In between sobs, Karimi asked Pentagon Secretary John Kirby, "Where is my president? He has to answer to people." As you know, I'm from Afghanistan. I'm very upset today because Afghan women didn't expect that overnight all the Taliban came. They took off my flag. This is my flag. They put their flag. Everybody's upset, especially women. She added, pointing the Afghan flag on his face mask, according to news agency ANI. However, the U.S. State Department will not categorically state if Washington will recognize Ashraf Ghani as the Afghan president. So this is something that we are working on with the international community. State Department spokesperson Ned Price responded when asked who Washington recognized leader of Afghanistan. Vernon, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
All right, go on.
Okay, the strict policing of quarantine control points has yielded an effective 9,065 average daily apprehensions within the NCR bubble. The number includes violators of the unified curfew within Metro Manila, as well as non-authorized persons outside of residence. National Police spokesperson General Rolando Olay said over gising na. Yesterday alone, PNP's Highway Patrol Group, which sets up random checkpoints within the bubble area, issued violation tickets to 170. The police continues its strict enforcement of the Interagency Task Force guidelines on Enhanced Community Quarantine 3, which the PNP officials said is more lenient than the two previous versions of ECQ. The economically favorable watered-down version of ECQ permits public transport as well as more industries in April. Polay said the number of police on deployment is sufficient and reports the number of fully vaccinated personnel at 47.5%. Per PNP tally, 98 policemen have died from COVID-19. The force maintains its police-to-population ratio at 1.5 to 500. In relation to the slay of a journalist in broad daylight yesterday, Olay refutes public perception that criminality is increasing under the quarantines. He said that, in fact, under President Rodrigo Duterte, cases of focused crimes have gone down to 64% compared to the first 5 years of the previous administration. This includes crimes against persons and properties like murder, homicide, physical injuries, robbery, theft, and carnap. The ECQ will expire on Friday, but the Department of Health recommends a 5-week extension with new COVID-19 cases hit 50,000. This is Vernon Velasco for News on Q.
Thank you for that coverage, Vernon. And that wraps up the stories this morning. Before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Araneta Center, the Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista, and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning.
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition on Press Reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Beanie Beanie pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.